Throughout 2015, Iran has been working with the global community to implement strict nuclear development standards. But although the U.S. government is in support of comprehensive reform, Israel's prime minister has said that any chance of a nuclear-armed Iran would threaten Israel's very existence. Iranian leaders have opposed Israel's statehood and repeatedly threatened to annihilate the country. With tensions sky high, we wanted to know what would happen if Israel and Iran went to war. Well, first and foremost, the big issue at hand is the potential for nuclear war. Currently, Israel is thought to be considerably farther ahead in nuclear proliferation than Iran. Although Israel is not one of the 5 countries allowed to possess nuclear weapons, they maintain what's called nuclear ambiguity. Some sources estimate that Israel has at least 80 nuclear weapons. Meanwhile, Iran is said to be nearing the capability to produce their first nuclear weapon. However, evidence as to whether this is true or even possible is the source of much debate. Iran has been sanctioned for violating nuclear guidelines and been accused of developing weapons-grade uranium. Still, no matter how far along Iran actually is, there's little doubt that Israel's ambiguous nuclear arsenal is considerably more powerful. But outside of nuclear war, how do these militaries stack up? Well, both are relatively strong, ranking within the top 25 most powerful world militaries. In terms of manpower, Iran takes a significant lead. While both countries have mandatory conscription, Iran's population is 10 times that of Israel's. So while Israel has about 800,000 available troops, Iran has closer to 2.5 million. Iran is also about 8 times larger than Israel, making it considerably harder to invade. However, Iran falls short in nearly every other military category. Israel is one of the world's biggest arms producers and develops a considerable amount of military technology. Iran lost Western military support during the Iran-Iraq War, leading them to rely on Russia, China, and North Korea. Israel also spends roughly $17 billion a year on its military, while Iran only spends about a third of that. Overall, there's no comparison between the size and scope of Israel's advanced arsenal and Iran's outdated and outsourced military capabilities. Israel is also well known for having one of the most highly trained defense forces in the world. But all that aside, experts point out that neither country has much of a geographic reach into the other. The two are just too far apart for a conventional war. Instead, some point to their involvements in regional proxy wars to assert dominance. Iran and Israel may be sworn enemies, but Iran's biggest threat comes from the United States, which has troops in neighboring Afghanistan and Iraq. Thus, with the U.S. backing Israel's powerful army, Iran would have a lot of trouble winning any kind of direct conflict. One of Iran's only direct supporters, North Korea, is always on the brink of war. To find out how a war between North and South Korea would turn out, check out this video.
In terms of armed forces, South Korea has one of the most powerful militaries in the world, with roughly 3.5 million available troops. However, while South Korea has millions of highly trained soldiers, North Korea has the advantage of being an authoritarian military-based dictatorship.
Thanks for tuning in to TestTube. Make sure to like and subscribe for new videos every day.